polished. I think this map series set, though, Jay, in terms of my prediction, does lean towards Optic's favor pretty heavy.
Yeah, because they're playing maps they haven't played in quite some time. Like, they didn't play Subbase all throughout this stage. The Rio Search and Destroy, they haven't played in this stage. The Karachi S&D, if we get to the Game 5, they haven't played it. And even in the Invasion Control, they only played it one time. So when you're going into a major, you want to make sure you're not getting caught lacking on any of the maps, because you heard Nameless say anything can happen in that veto process. You just simply do not want to get caught off guard. So Optic just want to make sure that their sub-base game is still top to none.
And on the same front, I think Thieves are looking at this match saying, uh-oh. I mean, their sub-base has not been great. Most recently having gotten the absolute poop beat out of them. 132-250 against Minnesota just a couple weeks ago. So some corrections that need to come through. And I will say, if Thieves do find a way to beat this Optic team against this map set, they should be looked at very seriously. And so far, the start is looking pretty nice for the Thieves.
I think regardless, they should be looked at seriously with what they've been able to do throughout this stage, man. We're talking about 8 and 4 at HP, great in Search and Destroy. Need to obviously fix up in those control game modes, but if you remember the Thieves roster beginning, they only had 1 to 2 hardpoint wins going into stage 3. So obviously the roster change has played a big part for this success for this LAT squad. As we get to the end of that P1, they currently have the rotation over towards New, but you can see Optic all over your mini-map trying to contest it all the way to the very end, but they do not find any kills. A successful rotation led by the kills for LAT to get some good time here at P2.
And this is massive. This feels like the Thieves squad when they play 6-star. Clean on rotation, clean on clearing the middle of the map, make sure you get a bit of a buffer in front of the upcoming hardpoint, and then usually walk away with the first 30 seconds. And so far, all of those conditions have been met. Dashy, though, over the top of barrels. That's not a gunfight that he should win. Still finds a way to take down Joe Deceives. Crep caught over towards Secret, and that'll be a quick break for Optic with still 20 seconds to fight.
Yeah, that's still a good amount of time to fight for, but they're more focused on maintaining the spawns for the next hill. So LAT's just spawning in towards the back. Gonna try to get him out of this P2 HP. Ghosty flies on through, able to win the one-on-one versus Dashy. But it's only for 10 seconds. You have a little bit of a lead, but now you are forced to break into a money hill for Optic Texas, where they're usually very difficult to break down their setup.
Decent fight back, though, for Thieves here, exiting away from P2. Now it's just down to the long route over towards the third hardpoint, and Kenny Semtex perfectly placed. Ghosty through tunnel. There is an opener, plus a follow-up from Crep. The hunt is on. Pistols out for both players, but it's Shotzi who takes the win, and now it's just down for Texas, trying to get their teammates back through mid to try to reset up this hold.
Yeah, it's a 2v2 at this HP. Who's going to win these gunfights? That's going to be influential to who's going to have those back spawns. But at the same time, everybody's waiting for that push to come in. The rest of Optic Texas still cutting off through the middle of the map. Going to be able to take the lead by a little bit. But there's only 25 seconds remaining here at P3. If you are LAT, just try to keep them as trapped as you possibly can in towards the back end, because you have a free rotation over towards New.
You have to be impressed with how Thieves have played to this point. I mean, that moment in front of P3 was all about each team trying to isolate each other. Thieves not wanting to hit over towards the hard point, wanting to deal with the members of Optic at mid-map. Kind of the same thing. The members at mid-map for Optic try to trap the players from Thieves from rotating in, and both teams kind of walk away 50-50. Shotzi, pistol out, right back into the hard point. Ghosty able to find the kill and slip away. Fred on the hunt, little wrap around, and that's enough for Texas to find themselves not just the hard point, but also the spawns in favor.
Oh, that's just way too easy. If you are LAT, it's got to be a lot cleaner, a lot better of a setup there, because Optic Texas able to break in without having the preferred spawns in the first 10 to 15 seconds. But now you're able to reinforce immediately right back through the middle of the map. This is what LA have been able to have a lot of success in their HP game, is that every time someone needs to clutch up in a gunfight, they're all getting it done. Everyone over 1.0 KD, and it's showing so far.
Very back and forth hardpoint already through the first 4 hardpoints. Nasty caught and left on an island. Ghosty trying to get there to support that final scrap time, but gets cut down pretty quickly. The spawn close, though, for LA Thieves to work over towards Top Snow and here at Warehouse. The rotation for Optic. Actually, they've gotten Shotzi around the back. Keep your eye. Number 2 in green. He's behind the play. First kill good. Second one tallied. Just down to try to collect down to Joe Deceives. He runs out in towards Snow, but job done for Optic as they've opened up the rotation to 5.
And we've seen Shotzi make that play again before on this map. Hits that deep route, completely catches Thieves off guard, because you're not expecting anyone to flank over towards Warehouse, because if you get the kills to the front end, then he makes a really bad play. But the fact that his teammates are staying alive towards P2, and he finds a couple kills, that leads to them getting this time here at P5. But the break is initially going to come in for LAT. They flood their way through the Warehouse once they take care of Shotzi, and they haven't looked back since.
The reactions and responses for the Thieves in the face of adversity has been really, really well tipped. I mean, it's been clean, it's been convincing, and what looked to be a route that Shotzzy just completely overwhelms LA and gives Optic a chance to walk away with the majority of time. It's another hard point that gets battled back to essentially 50-50. So we've got ourselves essentially a dead tie through the first set of hills. You tally the minimap to see what the next setup is going to look like, and Thieves will have a player forward in Joe Deceives with Kremp with some support from Ghosty right over the top of the hard point.
And now all of Optic Texas is trying to at least flip these spawns because you know you cannot wrap your way over towards that calm side and contest them over towards this P1 area. They're more focused on trying to flip those spawns, and look at the route coming in at Shotzzy. It catches Nasty off guard. Player on the point falls. Now it's Joe Deceives, final player up. He drops, and that is just a perfect play right there out of Optic Texas to break the hill and flip the spawns at the same time.
Great opener from Fred. 17 and 10 start for him. Shotzzy continuing to try to make some things happen across the map, but he's getting shut down so quickly. Dashy caught by himself, left on an island. Kenny over the top only gets one of what was maybe even multiple. Not gonna happen. Nasty around the back, up and over, but Dashy snaps over, deals with the hit from Thieves around the back, and there will be a chance here for Optic to get a little bit further forward and create some cushion around this second hill.
Yeah, now they have them trapped. You just have to make sure you're accounting for everyone because Joe Deceives has slipped the line. Is working his way all the way around the deep back area. He puts down shots on the dash. He's able to finish it out with the Renetti. But at least stalls enough time for his teammates to now get into the potential break opportunity. They try to work the overextension. Everyone gets cut down, but the back spawns are here for LA, so they still have a shot at breaking in.
But not anymore. The shots that come through for Optic deal with the majority of that push around the back, and so now Nasty is the last one left trying to play this from the front side of that P2 platform. This has been a mixy game of Subbase, but things are starting to stabilize here for Optic. They're getting the reads, they're getting the zone of control they need, and even though the lead is just around 30 points, this back 20 is still well within question as Thieves try to break one more time.
Yeah, this is some good time here if you are Optic Texas, and they're getting the time and finding the kill, so this is where you hit that go button to potentially spawn them behind you, but you're spawning too fast right there if you are LA. And Joe Deceives is able to find that kill to maintain warehouse control. So Optic currently up by 50 points. They're coming out swinging. Haven't played Subbase in a long time. Let's step aside and go to a listening with the green wall.
We're missing one.
Yeah, I'll stay down.
In the back. Shut up.
Nice. Yo.
I need tunnel.
Watch your tunnel. I'm one shot. I got it.
Ivory blue. I'm
about to
blue dead.
I'm trying to get out.
I'll get a response. I got it.
I got it.
I'll get a response.
One more
me, Ken. He's still me.
I got you.
P5 crimp.
I'm playing your boxes, Brandon. Play your boxes. Just look it right. Look at
Crimp's
P5.
P5,
Try to stay under him again.
I'll get you back left. I'm gonna get you
Yeah,
back
look
left.
left. Look left.
I
I'll be up in a second. I'll be up now. I've dropped, Brandon.
No, see.
One shot. Nice shot, bro. Nice.
What are you blocking? What is blocking?
I have streaks. Let me get top. No, one shot.
Get left. I hear you.
Go left.
I got time in a second.
You should go right.
Okay, I'll go right.
Yeah, go right.
We have left control. Stay left first.
Wait, do not
Where's yours?
do not
Just live.
I'm trying to live. Streak now. Streak now. Let's bottom P5. Push me bottom P5.
I got it.
I'm gonna lay it left.
Top three,
There's two on the left.
We come. Let me know when to streak.
Let's just go right. They got top snow now.
Try to get a kill first, bro. Try to get a kill first.
Let me know when to streak.
When is top snow late? I think you should look at streak now.
Yeah, I'm streaking. I'm bottom seven right now.
Nice, top two. There's two left.
Okay, listen. 2 left, 1 P5, 1 P2, 1 on top, and 1 green top.
Hey, we do right fast.
1 green top, and 1
right fast. I'm here. Retard. I'm scared.
I'm just scared.
Light.
Yeah, go submarine crack. Submarine that's dark and weak. Submarine.
Okay, just check it test a little bit.
Absolute and long. You went into lockers.
Make sure we guarantee near the.
Yeah, get Karen. You want Karen.
I'll take Karen.
We can play old school. We'll hit.
Karen. Oh, you can't.
Really good 20.
He's gonna make it.
I'm wrapping P5 quick.
This time.
Screen the P5.
Missing one silo.
He's already silos. Already silos Karen. Yep, silos Karen. He's already there. I'm coming to help you. Stay left.
Across the back.
I'm putting P5. Hold on.
I think I hold.
Wait, stop.
One more time.
Definitely feels like one of those games that we'll reflect on and say it was close until it wasn't. Optic continued to do all the right things. You can hear the passion dripping in the comms, Jay, and they're not letting off the gas here against Thieves.
Yeah, they're definitely not, man. They were able to find a break successfully, even with the cruise missile not really getting anything done at P4. That's the second successful break at that hill to keep it scrappy. And now only need 20 points to close out this map number 1. Just need to get past this wave of kills that Thieves currently have on the map. All out mid-map control, everyone on this left side of the hill. But you send in Pred, he's most likely going to get something done. He's able to find a double. Last player in the point is going to be Ghosty. The trade is going to be there, and Optic still have an opportunity to close it out here. Oh, not anymore.
Shots from Nasty, Dashy, the next one in line, and the pistol will finish him off. Trades, though, through the middle of the map for Optic. Will give them a little bit more breathing room as they try to rotate and close this map out on towards P1. And again, Thieves have been fighting, man. I mean, they're doing everything they possibly can to try to battle up against Optic, but at the moment, it really has been a couple of holds that have gone awry, and LA forcing themselves to have to put together rebreaks. The gap is pretty large, and they would have to throw some heroics here over the top of one and rotating the two if they want to have a chance and they can get dramatic comeback.
So far, they're finding the kills around the middle of the map. They just not have to spawn, so
yeah.
Two things that you have to focus on in this situation. Still a 60-point game, but Optic Texas are not going to give up all this time for free, but they don't want to be too aggressive and potentially spawn on out. You have a route getting hit by Nasty, but as he's hitting that route, everyone falls around that P1 HP. Optic still need 15 seconds to close out this game, and they can get it done here.
Kenny's got the read, at least on the spawns. Doesn't find the first elimination, but he alerts the rest of Optic that where this hit is coming from will likely be either through bottom server or over on the snow path. Here it is, the final hit. All of it dealt with. Perfect response from Optic. And yeah, 251-81 the count. I mean, we had a dead tie through the first set of rotations, but I don't know if it was you or I who had mentioned it. It just felt like the trends and the patterns kept turning up in favor of Optic, and eventually they're not going to let those mistakes continue to crop up. And at the same front, LA just could not find a way to get themselves a good setup as we started to dig into that second set of hills.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing, is that Optic Texas, even though they haven't played it all throughout their stage, this stand, I mean, their stuff on this map is slim to none. They are the best breaking team without question. And even though LAT found a lot of success on the first push, every time Optic went for that second push in to find a break, they successful every single time around. You just have to think about back when we got to that original P4 where Thieves cut their losses and were contesting P3 all the way to about 15 seconds left. So you had enough time to rotate and set up properly. But when you allow Optic Texas to instantly walk right through the front door, you had one player work around the back. They're instantly going for the flip in the first 10 seconds. You're just forced to play on that back foot a majority of the time. So Optic Texas feeling great. You haven't played this map in a long time, but you're still the best at it.
And I think the thing that's really revealing was the listening, flat out. It was not a, hey, we know we're going to have a top 3 seed, and hey, this is our map that we're flawless on. It was very much so looking to play perfect Call of Duty. So, you know, no false measures here at all for Optic. And again, this second rotation of hills really went to show that yes, we are looking to completely overwhelm this LA Steve squad. And really the only moment that went against them was the cruise missile not finding full value. But even still, we see it right there. They're able to at least still neutralize some of the time when they weren't the team in the preference side over towards the top of P4. So really clean stuff overall. But again, I have to say that this Thieves team's fighting, man. I mean, that first rotation, every time that something went wrong, they were right back in the mix, able to put themselves into fighting form, and it kept us at a dead tie essentially through the first 6 hills.
Yeah, it just got to when we get to that second half of the game where you needed to get some time here at P1. It's basically a tie game there, but when Optic successfully found a lot of time at P2 and then chain it over towards P3, they already find themselves up by 100. So LA was just playing catch up of remaining of that game, and unfortunately, you simply ran out of time. So Optic Texas secure map number 1. Now you're going into a Rio Search and Destroy for Optic Texas, who haven't played it throughout this stage. But when they do play it, one thing that they always find success is on their attacking routes. You got to imagine with players like Shots, with players like Kenny, and even players like Pred, who are super aggressive through top mid, you're always going to love that side of the map, especially when you got to work that objective. Yeah,
the other side of that coin, though, is that their defense has not been necessarily as great as you would like to see, especially considering, like Nameless and the rest of the Des were talking about, their post-plant retakes have been great, and their ability to stop teams from planting the bomb has been great. That hasn't really existed over the top of the Rio. On the other side for LA Thieves, again, it is kind of like a battle of different sides of the same fence here, because overall they're second in opening duel percentage, 4th in conversion, but on this map they're only 10th in opening duel percentage. So this is all about them trying to find the same consistency that they've had across the rest of their search and destroy, which, like I think Ali mentioned, has been great for them over the course of this Major 3 qualifier.
Yeah, and a lot of that is due to like the pacing that they're able to set. Like, you know what Kremp is going to do on the map. Joe Deceives is going to get it done with the Rava 9 or the MCW, but Ghosty is always in a good position to play a clutch or find a clutch 2-piece to give his team opportunities in these rounds. It's just like when you're going up against Optic Texas, you have to be able to take care of their playmakers because those guys are the game wreckers. My main focus is Shotzzy. If you allow that guy to roam around the way that he does and just be an absolute nuisance in your spawn, you're just simply not going to have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so here's a look over the Major 3 qualifiers again in terms of how things have gone largely around the objective. Their rounds with plants has been unbelievable. And then at the same rate, their ability to retake has been so clean, which is, again, a major focus change. What felt like what Optic was looking for at the beginning of the year, which was largely around, can we get Shotzzy up and aggressive and get first blood just by way of playing with tempo? Things have slowed down a little bit, and that has led to a lot of success. The only thing is that defensive retake success is only one margin of what their defense has looked like, because the rest of it on this map in particular has not been particularly great, and that's what you have to think their focus is coming into this matchup in this map right here in map 2.
Yeah, definitely putting your focus on just finding success other than retakes, other than post-plant scenarios on the defensive end is what you were looking for. Both teams tend to struggle opening duels percentage, but LAT, they do it a majority of both on the attacking and defenses. So you can't get that first blood Optic.
See how things go. Optic on the offense first. Passive setup around the LA Thieves defense. I mean, all across the map. You've got Kremp holding a corner on boxes, but the sole defender over the top of B is Joe DeCease. He's just calling out nades, you'd have to think. Here comes the second set of utility from Optic, and just as soon as Kenny was responded to over on the flank side, first blood is tallied, but the bomb does get planted 3v4.
Now LAT are just going to bombard the way through top mid. No smoke grenade going to be popped, so not going to gain any info. Shotzzy's just going to walk right into gunfire. A free kill for Kremp. Now Dashy and Pred left to clutch on up.
They're able to find one each, with both players very low on health. Pred the only one tallied for now. Dashy off the regen. It's to be a 1v2 for him. Still has a good look over the top of the bomb, and Thieves are waiting for him to actually take a bit of a peek here. Dashy hasn't given them the time of day, though. So now the time favors Dashy in this situation. LA have absolutely no idea where he's gone. First kill good. Pistol out. Not able to find the kill. Does Nasty get back in time? Sure he does. And the numbers will be the success story here for Thieves in their opening round.
Yeah, it's a good stuff right there from LAT to find that initial first kill and then instantly send it through top mid. You were seeing Shotzzy roam around that bridge area thinking it was all fine and dandy. No smoke grenades are going to get popped off the retake for LA. So he was completely caught off guard when he was trying to work his way back over towards the site. But then even in that 2v1, you could tell LAT had no idea where Dashy was. But when he puts down a couple shots to find that first kill, that's still enough time for Nasty to get that trade, work that defuse for LA to secure the first round.
Good stuff. Just too much for Kennedy to deal with on the flank. The post plant tested and challenged with the full flood like you broke down perfectly there, brothers. So here we go. LA Thieves, their first offensive hit. Talking about, again, their success on offense has largely come by way of not just the first bloods, but also finding a way to get the bomb planted. Ghosty seen over towards this long A range. That nade probably just a little bit too far left for Kenny's eyes. But Optic defensively still committing a rotation over towards A early, but Thieves haven't committed here. Now here's the quick wrap back into B.
And that's why you see Shotzzy immediately backing down from his position. Because he does not want to get isolated and potentially first blood, but LA, they have worked their way back off the rotation to take a lot of map controls. Nasty's giving the comms, so they're trying to get aggressive up through those staircases, but here comes the smoke grenade.
Yeah, the defensive retake smoke on the way in, and the SMGs will go 2 for 1. Bomb carrier also dropped in the process. Kremp has to back off, and Nasty would have to make good on this flank, you'd think. But look at the quick proactive read from Optic through the offensive side of the map. Now they flip things completely, and Thieves have absolutely no idea, not a lot of time to react to this. Although the response here, Jay, is actually the appropriate one. They get the bomb, and now they're headed over to A, where there's just Dashy waiting for them.
Yeah, but Dashy's in a perfect angle to at least get the info, give it to his teammates before they can pounce. They're trying to isolate him. He's at least able to get one player weak, but now you have to keep him alive. Nasty's able to win that one-on-one versus Kenny. Now it's Pred left to clutch up.
Kenny was looking for the trade. Not going to happen. Pred, lots of damage in. But Kremp, lots of damage in the receiving end. Wow. Really quick wrap. And initially, it looked like the play from Optic was going to be successful. You just completely avoid all of this LA retake towards them collecting the bomb. But really, in retrospect, the quick commitment from LA to get back over to A was the perfect response, not having known exactly where the Optic defenders had gone off to.
Yeah, Dashy was able to get some kind of info, but was not able to spot Kremp jumping up on that dumpster for that freebie. So Dashy definitely wants that one back, because all you have to do is simply give the info to your teammates and stay alive at the same time. So then you guys all can pounce together. But both players lose the initial one-on-one gunfights, and then Pred just too much to deal with in that clutch scenario. LAT go up 2-0, and now in this round, you got a couple of trophy systems to keep you alive through top mid. Kremp finds the first.
And Nasty there to help supply the support as Kremp backed away. First 2 kills tallied. And Optics, great offensive run through Rio, has not been able to provide too much yet. Hello, how are you? A little shaking of hands over towards the Eskies side, which Thieves are fine to trade back against. And even Kremp's like, oh, where did he come from?
And that one definitely caught him off guard. You see the beat down. He's like not expecting anyone to push down the stress, especially in a 2v4. But LAT showing that aggression through top mid, and it's leading to some success. You find another first blood. You instantly find the second kill, and then Optic Texas left in the 2v4 know that we can't work this bomb plan. We have to try to find some kind of kills around this map because there's just too many things to focus on, and LAT are not giving them any breathing room.
Yeah, and a lot of it has just been Optic trying to find trades, and so an individual's pushing out to try to confirm it, but the teeth of LA continue to be pretty much primed and ready for those hits. So 3-0 start, 4-0 for Nasty, and for the opener here in the second offensive attempt, a moment of pause as Ghosty does get pushed off his angle towards A, but the follow-up from Kremp right into the face of Shotzi. Not a chance for him to even shoot back. Pred over the flank.
Oh my.
Caught off guard. Kremp is doing it all. 3 kills for him in the round, working on the ace and potentially the streak. Dashy trying to slide away where Nasty's there to meet him. And oh my goodness, Kremp had some words that you don't need a lip reader to say, as he gets 3 of the 4 quickly in the face of that Optic attack.
Yeah, he said Happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys are having a good time. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put it onto these boys in green. He finds a triple through top mid. Finds the first, also shoots the trophy. Just simply getting it done on this side of the map. The second, but the third is so much better. Great shots with only 6 HP left. The deciding factor to why LAT are currently up 4-0.
A bullet away from the 4-piece and the ace. So here we go. Optic down 0-4. Quick route over towards bridge on the approach to B. Pred playing a safer angle in case there is a push through the A site, but it looks like Thieves may just rewrap this. And yeah, here comes the play forward. Optic are set up for it. It just comes down to the timing of the actually reading this or not.
Yeah, now the bomb is successfully going to get planted, but Pred gets the info. There's multiple players going around this flank area. Just trying to at least bait, set up Kremp to find 1 kill to earn that cruise missile, and at the same time, Nasty on the opposite side of the map, playing for 1 more kill. Ghosty finds that first blood. Optic still have 30 seconds, though.
Retake smoke still available for Kremp, but Thieves are going the long way around, and the push through for Optic has really modernized where this retake is going to be coming from. Although Ghosty able to take 2 good team shots with Kremp. Smoke is now down. Follow up from Joe Deceives, gets 3 down to Shotzi, and woo! It is chef's kiss perfect from Thieves. 5-0 up. Mercy.
They're just running away with this game, man. They can do no wrong. Even when they're giving up a complete opposite side of the map and they're sending 3 players through that flank, they are successfully finding first bloods. Ghosty starts it off, and then at that point, you're forcing Optic to change their post-plant setup. Everyone has to watch a different angle or multiple angles at that point, and it's just too much ground to cover there. As LAT successful on the retake again over towards B site, and now only one round away from having a perfect 6-0 here in game 2.
Every moment we've seen Thieves try to make a decision, they've held some sort of an advantage, and they have collected on it more than words can say. Kremp looking for early info off the top of Eskies. I don't believe he saw Shotzi on that little crossover towards the U-Haul. Nades geared over towards a little bounce in towards you. That also will not land. So no information early here for Thieves, but early eyes for Joe towards A, and the defense really not in position to do much besides hopefully stall, and I think a stun will confirm the intel. and also back up this Thieves approach.
And this is exactly what LAT did last go around. You show all your attacks over towards A, and you get the rotation to come in for Optic Texas, but this time Shotzzy shuts down that rotation single-handedly. He's able to find 2. The trade is going to be there for Ghosty, but now it's Pred's turn to strike. He takes down Nasty. Ghosty falls. And a perfect blind counter right there from Optic Texas to not bite on that aggression over towards A. You still kept Shotzzy over towards B, and it plays a big part to the success on this round.
Okay. Small adjustments, small adaptations as we take a look from Shotzi's POV. He was just completely concealed over towards bridge side pistol for one. Quick slide to use the bomb to his advantage for the, I won't say easy, but clean second. Long way to go here, though, for a full sale. I'll tell you that much. Especially considering that offensively, there really hasn't been much success. 2 plants, sure, but most of that has been voluntarily given away by LA Thieves playing retake, and they're going to go to the same setup they've played all the way through this. 3-man hit over towards A. Kenny in position. He got overwhelmed here first time they tried this. No such luck this time as there's a couple of nades left over towards B. Don't know if those will connect too much, and Shotzi looks like he wants to try to get this plant off.
And this is where you get scared because Optic Texas, a majority of the attacking rounds have taken mid-map control, but this time LA were thinking that that bomb is going to get planted. Optics still have not attempted that objective play. They were just holding top mid, waiting for LAT to play for their retake, and it works out to perfection. Great plays also from Kenny to gain that info on the deep pinch, simply back down with his life, force the reposition to at least show face. This angle is not going to be free. You guys are going to have to now get past me, and it works out to perfection.
And you have to wonder maybe a touch. I mean, you see where those nades are tossed for Thieves over towards Box's side. Those are all geared towards landing late in towards top mid. Did any of those potentially hit? Because then all of a sudden you see a frag cooked by the defender on stairs. Optic had backed off from the plant. And maybe that moment of backing off, getting the regen, and then waiting to receive the Thieves retake is what allowed them a much cleaner look. As this time Dashy will catch a nade right in the face. Backs off, gets the regen. There are no defenders towards A, and Thieves are going to get read on this very quickly as they are already through the A site.
Yeah, that objective is already going down as well, and now it's in the hands of the Ghosty, who's already pushed himself up towards the opposing side. Finds that first blood onto Dashy. Kenny instantly there for the response, but this play is going to be in the hands of Shotzzy. Kenny win his one-on-one on the flank.
Yeah, he has been seen, though. Nasty gets the read and then backs away. Kenny has to try to assist to get him some freedom to move. And they know Ghosty's nearby. They just don't know exactly where. Shotzzy trying to teamwork this with Pred. And simultaneously, Kenny does clear out the garage side. Now it's just down to the last member and Joe Deceives. Frag cooked up. This is tossed just to give him a little bit of separation. Pred on the challenge. Not hit by the nade. Joe has to back off. Not a lot of time. You got to check for this. First shots are in. Kenny gets the kill, and there's plenty of time for the defuse. So what looked to be Thieves getting a lot of space, not just at, but through A. Optic win a couple of key 1v1s, and that's enough for them to reclaim the site and the defuse.
Yeah, and I think that was the play right there out of Pred, because you saw Shotzzy on the minimap working his way around the deep pinch. When you had him in that situation, if he loses that one-on-one gunfight, it's basically a GG, but he loses that fight, and Pred is instantly there to respond, and then you're relying across the map, Kenny to simply win his one-on-one. He finds that gunfight in through garage, gains the info as well. The last player's over towards boxes.
Yep.
And somehow, some way, is able to get that trade. I thought once Pred drops, and I was thinking Kenny was going to be on the bomb, that round was going to be a GG, but Kenny knows, even if Pred falls here, I still have enough time to find this kill and stick the defuse. Optics slowly but surely coming alive.
First time we'll see Thieves actually take an aggressive stance defensively right through mid-map. Shotzzy, the one trying to keep this rel responsible, but it's actually Ghosty for first blood. That is the sole defender at A, dealing with the play over the back, and then Joe Deceives pops out the doorway, but it's a 2-for-1 exchange, now taking us to a 2v2 overall with tons of time on the clock, and Shotzzy gaining ground over towards B.
And this is going to be difficult because now LAT know that the pressure's not going to be over towards A. It's only a matter of time before you hit that rotation out. And Shotzzy has played the perfect spot to at least find one kill. Does not gain the info in the second, so Nasty wins that one-on-one. It's all up to Shotzzy.
And I'm surprised Kenny even pushes down right there. You know where Nasty's at. Why not just wait for him to try to trail up the stairs into a 2v1? But Kenny sacrifices his life, and now it's just down to the 1v1. And Nasty will take his time. Shotzzy essentially doing the exact same thing. 20 seconds on the clock. Here comes the first check. Nothing there. Reset. Check it again in 6 seconds. Nasty has to go forward. Here comes the play. I think Shotzzy has seen an elbow or something. And yep, he's not going to bother checking this until after 8 seconds is gone. And it's going to be a 4th round in a row plus the elimination for Shotzzy. Hold on a second.
And that's just a situation where LAT, they found the first blood. Ghosty gains all the info that the pressure's going to be over towards A. And with the rest of the players in Crep and Joe Deceive, you still were super aggressive up through top mid. You get that first kill, you already have the man advantage. We have to have a different mid-round adjustment there instead of just committing on that deep pinch, because that's where Optic were able to realize that the flank was coming in, make it a 2v2, and then Shotzzy, just to make Shotzzy kind of plays, finds himself behind enemy lines. Like, if you're LA, you get the first blood, everybody just take a chill pill.
You start to feel the tension a little bit now.
Yeah, you're shaking a little bit.
Absolutely. Dropping 4 in a row. Nades do land and completely counters out the one trophy system plays defensively for Optic. And Thieves look like off that information, they want to give another go over towards this B site, but do they have the clearance to actually get onto the site itself? You got number 3 and Pred watching the flank. Here comes the recommit over to try to retake. Thieves win the first 2 gunfights. Pred only able to tally 1 on the trade. He does get out to keep his life, and now the rotation from Kenny has him in, but Nasty comes around the side. Shots are good, and it's all down to Kenny for a 1v3.
Try to keep his team alive in the search and destroy. Positioning now known. Now in the 1v3, you just work that objective and play the trades. Make this a lot more difficult for Kenny to try to clutch on up. If he could have found a time to eliminate that bomb plan, you stand a better chance, but now it's even more difficult.
First shot's good. Able to clean things up. The second challenge nearly gets the read on it, but yeah, flat out, Thieves, the perfect response after the contest towards the bomb came out of Optic. And you can see the reasoning of why you'd go for it in that moment. Lots of nades already been thrown. You know that Thieves are committing. Maybe we can catch them off guard with the timing, but the SMGs for Thieves were fully prepared for it. They deal with both Optic defenders, and then the numbers become too much as Thieves tie us up at 1 apiece.
And you can just tell right there that final round for Optic Texas, when Dashy hits that nade over towards Soda, backs that player down, that is when they're hitting that go button to try to take top mid control. But they were just not ready for the positionings out of Cramp, not ready for the plays out of Joe Deceives to simply finesse with their life and find the initial 2 kills in those engagements. Just a little too late in the party is Optic Texas. You start down 0-5, you lose this one 6-4. Obviously, LA were doing a great job in the beginning of this game, finding multiple first bloods, shutting down that aggression play over at that B side every single time. Optic Texas were playing really slow for the objective. They were just like waiting for LAT to come in, and whenever they started to work for that objective, LAT came. It was just some really, really bad timing there, but you can see it in the bottom of your screen. That is a total of 8-3 in first bloods for LAT. They just came out dominating the search and destroy.
And that was what we talked about kind of framing up this search, is that outside of Rio, Thieves have been great at getting first bloods. Looks like the payoff did come through in a big way on their map selection. But coming up, we've got the invasion control, which will frame up a lot of possibilities when we come back from the break, but also a Vista Hardpoint that Thieves fans should be pretty happy about seeing. See how things go in the control when we come back after this.
Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty Week. The Call of Duty Week is brought to you by Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the CDL.
The Cataclysm Pack is available now. This bundle includes the Cataclysm Operator Skin, Dystopia Weapon Blueprint, Iron Lung Charm, Vroom Animated Calling Card, Alpha Vinyl Guiding Light Emblem, and Scratch Tally Weapon Sticker. Use these items in both Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Call of Duty Warzone. Available in store now using Call of Duty points.
Welcome back, everybody, as we get into map number 3 of a 1-1 series count so far between Optic Texas and the LA Thieves. And the Invasion Control is an interesting battleground for us. I think Ali predicted the high rise would come into play, but I can see why for both these two teams. But for Invasion, it has not been particularly great for either of these two squads. Optic's dealing with 5 losses in their last, I think, 6 attempts or so. And then on the other front here for LA, they've played it quite a bit here in this Major 3 qualifiers, have not found a single win on it yet.
Yeah, no, LA just simply haven't found any success on their attacking routes. They averaged 3 segments, and that means that they're getting them all done at B, but out of 7 rounds that they have played so far throughout this stage on the attacking side, not a single segment even earned over towards that A point. And for Optic Texas, the one time that they played this, we remember it, it was versus Boston. When Shawnee spawned in, he was like Sly Cooper around the map, and Optic just simply had no awareness that he was on that A point. So Optic Texas looking to right the wrongs here, but if you are LA, we gotta find some kind of success over towards A.
Gotta find some success generally on control. I mean, considering that their schedule has been, I think, largely labeled as pretty easy, they have not done well in control, only winning 2 different maps to this point in Major 3 qualifiers. On the offense first, though, not able to find much success towards either zone, but Nasty able to survive over through DVD. Allows a chance for the Thieves to use it as a pivot point to hopefully rotate in towards B quickly, and a couple eliminations will guarantee that.
Yeah, that's a big kill to take down Shotzi as well, because he was trying to be a nuisance up over towards that B point, but you take care of him. Now you're able to put that game clock at a pause. And Optic Texas is going to be a little late to that party. You have players working at overextension. Dashy finding himself up through Water Street. Everyone else from Optic Texas trying to hit a couple tracks, trying to hit a couple nades to get him off of this B point. But LAT already first segment complete.
A little bit of a double wrap, though, over through Dark. First kill, good. Follow up by Kremp. He doesn't expect the second player to be here. So Dashy will provide the trade and keep this defensive contest largely alive. But Pred dropping from the front means that Dashy has to wait for the next set of reinforcements to try to get here, which is just Shotzi for the time being. Good first elimination. Dashy's play enables more of a contest around the B zone, and here comes the fly forward. Ghosty deals with the opener and then slips away with his life. Time becoming a bit of an issue here for this Thieves offense, down to 35 seconds.
Ghosty now has to continuously play his life because his teammates are nowhere near him. Finally, all spawn Joe Deceased is able to get himself into the fight. Only able to take down one, and Optic are just doing a great job of trading effectively, not allowing any LAT players to stay alive on this side of the map. They are trying to get completed over with that 3rd segment, but Optic are making it so damn hard. Now there's only 20 seconds left, and you have to get past the green wall.
Yeah, and they know that going down B Street isn't an option, so you have to make the play largely through Courtyard. Kenny in position. Gets himself onto 4 in a row. Swaps over the weapon, looking for number 5, but it was ambitious to say the least. Dashy there to pick up where he left off. And the defense for Optic holds strong over the top at B, ending with Shotzi on a 5 spree, only seeing 2 ticks of progress be earned.
And that's a difference maker already into this game, because every time you're spawning in on Invasion Control, you have to guarantee yourself those 3 segments to even stand a chance at getting round 5 defense. But Optic always contesting over towards that B point, consistently always trading effectively on that side of the map. And that allows them to only give up 2 segments with a couple players working on streaks of their own. So the game becomes a lot easier for Optic Texas now, knowing that all we have to do is complete B. We're going to find ourselves up by 1 segment and then just do what we do best, make it very, very chaotic around another map to work towards A.
Yeah, I mean, we often talk about those opening offensive rounds are tone setter. They set the bar, and it's not set very high right now, to say the least. Nasty good gunfight win. Stop Shotzi from pushing through over towards Broken. Pred mid-map, the next one up to try to keep this offense with a bit more space to work with.
Oh
and
my
wow, does he
God.
ever created 2 big kills, and now the immediate push up in towards Ruggs. Kenny follows up with another elimination, and Optic will get the first tick with eyes over towards the quick transition to A.
Yeah, because now all of LA coming off spawn have to put all their focus on A, because you know there's a couple players from Optic Texas contesting you in your base. You're able to at least find the first, but now where the hell is Shotzi? You have found every single kill in the feed, but Shotzi has let everyone slip on by. Trying to take a page out of Shawnee's book.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of this. Dead Silence going to be popped, and he wants to find his kills and open up an avenue for Optic to maybe get to A quickly. First shot's good. Snap over towards Joe. Decent, but can't find the final bullet needed for the kill, but the rest of the teammates are in play. Last defender around is Krent. Predicted by Kenny, but the shots from Krent are decent, but not good enough to secure the kill. Kenny, seeing all the nades being thrown, says, I don't have a trophy, gotta get out of here. And the first tick of progress is still under question as Dashy tries to stop the clock, while simultaneously Shotzi works on that third tick of progress over at B.
Oh, I thought Dashy was going to get it done with the Renetti. But Joe Deceives is able to fly on in and save that first segment from being complete. But Optic Texas already coming out swinging on this attacking round. Have a lot of map control. They're able to extend the time by a minute. And now you just have to put yourself in a position to not get trapped by LAT. They find 3 kills in the feed. Farthest player pushed up is Dashy, but simply just playing your life is enough time for your teammates to get back to you.
Yeah, absolutely the case. And again, the early take advantage has already been tallied for Optic, so I won't say this is playing with essentially 3 lives, but it's definitely going to feel a little bit like that. Joe Deceives, nice response defensively. Good for 2, almost taking down Kenny for what would be all 3 of these Optic players. But Kremp, no worries. Able to find Kenny, and then a follow-up long-range gunshots towards Pred. Now gets LA very far forward defensively, and that's enabled even further as Nasty gets one towards Shotzi through mid-park.
Now Optic Texas have a minute to try to work out of their base. This is gonna waste a lot of time trying to hit some insane shots off of some head glitches and get past the defensive setup currently held by LAT through the middle of the map. Everyone is currently sitting with an AR in hand because they know that these gunfights off spawn are not going to be easy, but just have to try to trade effectively, and LA are making it so difficult.
Yeah, absolutely are. Ghosty maybe gets a bit too far forward here, and the shutdown towards Kremp at mid, and is right, Jay. Optic starting to get some control at mid. Shotzi shut down from getting anything further past Rugs, so the hit from Optic would have to come from the front. Eyes towards Joe Deceives. He's off the regen, but there are a couple of Optic members trying to deal with him. Plus the follow-up as Dashy just kind of walks around the outside. But time's becoming an issue. Kenny has to get enabled. The pistol win will allow maybe a chance for Optic to still hit A.
Yeah, still 10 seconds though, so Shotzi is just going to put himself in towards the point. A couple players around him though. He's now the sole man here for Optic and LAT. Able to stand strong on defense, even with Optic having a lot of map control throughout this entire attacking round. Do not allow any segments to get away from them at A. But now on the attacking side, you have that one that you are thinking about in the back of your mind. We have to make up for.
Absolutely. At least to keep things even. Obviously feels a little bit like a footnote in the large scheme of things, but Invasion Control is a maniacal monster in terms of trying to find offensive success, which we saw the stats at the beginning of this map. That has not been particularly pretty from either side's perspective. Which is, again, that's surprising. You know, when we think back to LA Thieves and their ability to play Invasion Control in the beginning of the year, they were like innovators of how you get to A.
Oh, yeah.
And lately, it has not been that way at all, as Thieves will take all 4 members largely over towards B. Early stop of the clock as Nasty jumps on with support from a trophy system early.
Now you just can't allow Optic to trade effectively and just put themselves in a position to consistently contest you over towards B, and that's a perfect way to come out swinging. You find 3 kills in the feed. All of Optic Texas now coming all spawn. You have one player also watching the overextension up through Water Street, so this is a way better start right here from LA.
And you got to keep in mind, Nasty on 4 could potentially play his life for a possible charisma, so there's kill number 5, but no. Team shots coming through as Kenny's able to put together 3 in a row. Progress towards B still being made. Shotzi with the longest dive you've ever seen from high ground in your life. Keeps his life a little while longer, but Optic still scrambling to get a bit of a setup here to try to recontest this B zone. With that kill, maybe there's a chance to open things up from behind. But where's the focus from the front here? LA have stepped off the zone, trying to read these kills before they commit to the zone, and that may have been the right call. Dashy, Shotzi trying to work together, but eliminations are good, and the extra 60 is going to get tallied.
Yeah, the extra 60 is going to get tallied, so now LAT currently up by 2 lives. Have a lot of time to work with, especially if Joe Deceives is shooting like that. What an addition to this LAT roster to bring this guy back up. Gains the confidence throughout challengers, has a lot of success with FaZe Black, and now with LAT, he is not turning back the time. Fortunately, he does get shut down, but he allows his teammates to get pushed up in some crucial positions to where now Optic off spawn have to now put their focus all on Kremp.
Yeah, Pred will have to do something here from front courtyard to allow some extra time for Optic to get set up. But like you mentioned, Kremp still an issue. Pistol out. He predicted Dashy well, but wasn't able to win the pistol fight. So now it's just down to the Thieves from mid-map. Not really much of a look over towards Water Street. This is all about trying to get over towards Rugs, if not into Laundry. And for the most part, Texas have gotten the read and responded to it beautifully.
And now they're just trying to fight back for that mid-map control. Nasty is going to be traded out. You have players trying to contest over towards A Street, but you're just wasting a lot of time. You have to work your way around the left side. Try to work up through the middle of the map, because if you're just trying to go straight on head first, right through that A point, it's not going to be easy because Optic are not expecting it, but also have people watching those angles.
Yeah, and the more that Shotzi takes space at Ice Cream, the more that the rest of the Optic defense just has to worry about this street side push.
Yep.
Good crossing angle from Pred, keeps down. Has to try to find a way to open up as Dashy will drop. And the read towards Shotzi's decent, but they can't quite find the kill. More crossing angles from Optic right through mid-map will make sure that Thieves cannot touch the zone. And they're just looking for Ghosty now, and the hunt is already on, and they've got a pretty good idea where he is. And yep, that's only a 1-for-1 trade. 10 plays 9, 23 seconds, and Thieves still struggling to get out of spawn.
And that's where the communications are on point, because last week it was Optic Texas leaving Shawnee alive, not accounting for everyone, but this time they were not going to allow that to happen. You take care of Ghosty, who was the farthest player pushed up. Now you know everyone else is all spawned for LA. And with only 5 seconds remaining in this round, Optic again are going to stand strong on the defensive side. They put the slaying back in their favor. And now going into this next attacking round, you complete B, you guarantee yourself round 5 defense.
Yep, that's exactly the case. The task now falls onto the shoulders of the Thieves to be better defensively, which is not easy to do, especially over the top of the B zone with the amount of success that every team in the league has pretty much found over the course of that B capture point. So it's one of those things that for Thieves, do you play for it, or do you just take a little bit of, success out of what Toronto was able to do in their series previously? Like, well,
nah.
If we don't get it, we don't get it. Let's not do anything crazy.
They need to come out here and they need to try to get a shutout round here. Only allow 2 segments to get away from them and keep the slaying, or at least pull the slaying towards their favor. Because you don't want to allow Optic Texas to guarantee themselves defense early into this round, especially if they can earn a couple streaks. So you're going to contest this all the way down to the very end, and they are finding every single kill in the feed. Shotzzy, the last player up. You take care of him, you have them in the trap.
Easier said than done, though. The self-stun works out. Pistol out. Also the prediction.
Oh, my God.
And Shotzi's found 3. Here come the rest of the green wall behind him. And he's going to take space to make sure that Thieves defensively don't have much of a look from the front to contest this. Although, that told, Joda Sieves gets one. Shotzi's still called upon to make a play, and he will be shut down on 4 in a row. Cramp Nasty trying to work this thing back together as the first tick is locked. Second on the way, and as Cramp drops and Nasty is red, this looks like the B zone will likely be captured.
Yeah, and that just goes back to the play of Shotzi finding 3 when it's a 1v4 scenario. Everyone else coming all spawn. You had one player work his way all the way up to Water Street, was ready for the spawn trap, but when Shotzi makes those kind of plays, that allows Optic another lifeline over towards B. That 3rd segment is about to get complete. Time is now extended. So Optic guaranteed themselves Ryan Fallon defense, even if they fall short here.
Yeah, 20 plays 22. Thieves on the exit. Good for the eliminations needed to make sure the defense at least holds strong to see a 5th round for now. Still tons of time on the clock, though. 145 to muster. And look at these. Trying to catch some gunfights over towards B Street. You win those, you got the spawn trap in play. First couple of kills are decent. Shotzi again, though, the sole creator of time and space. It feels like he could bend it like a man of the universe, but not to happen here. Quick shutdown out, and Thieves will hold strong defensively with a pretty far forward setup.
Oh, great shots right there to Dashy to shut down Cramp. Now you can slowly try to work your way up through mid-courtyard. You take care of the player watching the overextension and Nasty, but now a couple players falling from LA. You're forced to change your defensive look. Openings are now there for Optic Texas, and they take full advantage of it as they have a lot of mid-map control. LAT now have to iron up.
And it's right off spawn that the contest is going to come through on. Shotzi tagged up, but stays alive. Such a hard kill to tally, and Thieves are fully realizing it off the regen. Couple of kills come through. Now Thieves can start to swarm. Pred through backside rugs, trying to clear out Laundry. That will work out nicely. It's just really Nasty inside the point, the only one to stay alive. Look at the spawns for Thieves. They're deep over towards blue. Opportunity here for Optic to try to make their way on towards A, but off spawn, Jodeci is able to tally 1. Nasty still tucked in a corner over towards A, finds a 2nd, and Thieves defensively can start to get some more numbers here.
Yeah, now there's only 30 seconds left, and Jodeci makes the play. Works his way up through that mid-side courtyard, finds a 2-piece over towards the street side. Basically shuts down that final push coming in from LA. There's only 15 seconds left. All of Optic working that overextension, but a couple kills are going in their favor. They still have another opportunity here.
Sure do. It's about can they get here to touch, though. Lots of focus for the team.
Oh, my God.
They miss Shotzi around the back. He's done his job. He gets
oh, my God.
3.5 on the clock. The stack is in. Shotzi's position forces Thieves to spawn all the way out in Egypt. And I don't even know if they're going to get a chance to get here in time. Not with Shotzi cutting him off a rotation. Right back into Laundry. Shotzi dealt with. Here comes the contest. Joda Thieves finds a couple. Just down to Pred, and it's 4 in the feed. Thieves will barely hang on to see a 5th round.
I thought LA was going to break down the same way we watched New York in that last series in the final 10 seconds on the defensive side, but they're at least able to reinforce their way back into the point. You give up a couple segments, but who cares? You knew that you were guaranteed attack in that round number 5. You stay alive a little longer to now force round number 5, but now you have to find some kind of success on attack. You're now 0-9 with 0 segments complete at A.
Yeah.
We probably need a little bit of a different start off. Let's go back to LAT stage 1.
I like that call. See if we can catch Optic a bit off guard here. We'll see if they've taken your tip into accord here. It's such a hard call, though. And if you lose that one out, you're going to be stuck in a bit of a spawn trap, and it looks like Thieves will not do anything too cute. Trophy system down, focus over towards B. Shotzzy predicted, seen, couple of shots are in, and wow, Shotzzy still takes that gunfight. I mean, you'd think he's feeling himself. A little heat check right there. Does get punished for the overextension, and with the quick stack, B looks like it's already done and dusted.
And I love the way that Ghosty is playing this, making sure no one's going to hit through mid-dark, go for a pinch, or no one trying to put themselves in a position to put LAT in a spawn trap over towards water side. He gives his teammates a free B capture. Now time extended. Krep already finds himself in towards back cast, but the rest of his teammates are falling around the middle of the map, so you can't try to be Superman in this play.
And you can see Pred has already turned around. I think they know that Kremp may have slipped through in some form. Dashy, though, dealt with. Shots towards Pred are good. He has to take cover inside a cafe. There's a wide open water street here for Thieves to use. And Kremp will give up his position at gas to stop the clock and put some early pressure over towards this A zone. Shots and kills from Texas, looking pretty decent. Jodeci's on the hunt for Dashy, who has slipped away. And now finally gets the tally, finds the kill. But the response over from Texas at the deep side of Water Street will work out, and they've simultaneously dealt with that deep pressure from Thieves. Defense setup, only a half tick of progress has been earned to this point.
Yeah, first push already shut down, and now you best believe someone from Optic are going to put themselves in towards that point to make sure they work down that first segment. As time is continuously driving its way on down, Pred does fall on the overextension, so an avenue of attack for LAT to work their way around the deep pitch.
And Thieves, they got some isolation here towards these two Optic members playing forward. Kenny trying to get dealt with by Kremp. Tough battle as both players were tagged up, and Kenny avoids the trade as well. This is such great finesse from him. Problem is, he's the last one standing. Shotzzy's trying to deal with the player deep, and goes.
Oh!
So now it's just down to Kenny. Tries to step in, and Thieves have pushed the spawns away from Texas. 2 members on. First tick done. Pred trying to cut off a reinforcement. Clean towards Kremp, but you gotta go. You gotta get over towards the zone. Second tick of progress is in. There's still tons of time keep in the back of your mind. So Pred needs to clear it and then also stay alive, and Kenny will be the savior for now. But as previously mentioned, minute 10 on the clock. LA Thieves coming out of spawn quickly.
Still a lot of opportunities here for LA. You just have to work your way out the overextension. With Kremp finding a double to the map, everyone all spawn is jumping with their hands up in the air saying we have another shot. Just gotta try to get past the players coming off spawn now for Optic. All out fights through the middle of the map. Ghosty and Nasty at least find 2. So Pred now in a position where you just gotta play a kill.
Yeah, you have to play your life. Jodeci's also shut down from behind at Ruggs. Good team shots with Dashy. Cuts down the rotation from Thieves. 14 plays 12. Small advantage for Thieves, but the clock, the biggest opponent right now for the offense. 33 seconds on the clock, and oh, Pred, while stunned, takes care of Nasty. That will hold off this Thieves approach a little while longer.
And now with 25 seconds left, this is going to be your last push. You have to try to figure out how Optic are playing. Jodeci at least finds the first. The trade is going to be there on to Pred. You have 1 player in the point. Now, where the hell is the last guy?
Yeah, this is all about finding Shotzzy, and he has stayed completely concealed in and out of Ruggs. But the player on the zone has fallen. Trades from Jodeci's on 3 in a row. He's got to be the one to touch the zone, though. Pistol out, has Pred at range. Oh, what a win from Pred. First couple of shots were good. Follow-up from Ghosty, decent. He's in at 0.0, but can't keep his life. And the round 5 defense will stay strong enough, if only just barely.
Woo. That one got scary. I don't know what it is about round 5 defense. You think you have them locked up, but the last series showed us that anything is possible. Even with 10 seconds left, LA almost were able to squeeze that victory out. It started with the great play from Ghosty. He works his way all the way through the overextension, finds himself behind enemy lines, is able to find a double, and then leads to a triple. That was the opportunity that LA were looking for, but Optic Texas able to reinforce quickly, even not having to worry about the segments is the biggest thing, because you're probably thinking if we give up segments, especially in an early round, we would have round 5 offense. But since you're already on the defensive side, all you have to do is just get one successful break in, and that's all it really came down to, as they were just consistently not dropping together. That's the biggest thing about control in this game, is that if you go 2 to 3 dead, if that 4th person drops as well, then that's when you have to start being nervous in those situations. But every single time where we thought Optic were on the back foot, Shotzi makes the play, he finds a triple, Pred makes a play, finds a double, and even Kenny had his moments where finding 1 kill and simply not getting traded immediately was such valuable plays right there for Optic Texas. You only played it 1 time in this stage. It was a hiccup versus Boston, but at least you feel a little bit better getting this victory the way that you did here.
100%. I mean, it legitimately comes down to the wire a couple of different times through. And this is almost where it kind of starts. Like you mentioned, Ghosty on the back. You think that's enough for everything to get going, and it absolutely is. But it's just the recovery of the individuals, that last guy standing, to give Optic a chance to come off of the very deep spawns and have a chance to save the round. And boy, did they do it a couple of times over. I will say, honestly, that stun kill from Pred was another major small difference maker. He drops in Cafe, that's also laundry gone, and you're completely split up if you're Optic's defense. So heroic individual gunfights, and all Kenny can do is kind of say,
Texas map 1 was a little bit easy. You showed fight in that Search and Destroy, but you eventually fell short. And then when you get to an invasion control, where they used to be one of the best teams in the game at it, just now they know going into Major 3, we have to make sure we're playing, getting reps on this map, because when we score up against Atlanta FaZe, or we score up against Toronto, or even New York, we're most likely going to have to play some invasion. So you just want to make sure it's still up to par with the top teams. They find themselves up 2-1 in the series, and now they're going into a Vista where they're feeling pretty damn good, because the team that they went up against in Miami were able to beat the hell out of Toronto on this map, and they beat the hell out of Miami on this map. So Optic, they're loving the new map so far.
yeah, at least off the one time they've played it, right? Because on the other front of things, you look at the overall record for Thieves and you see 2-2. Wow, that's just okay. But one of the losses was a 3-point loss to Vegas in heroic comeback form. And then the other was Seattle Surge, where they lost by 100, but Surge played the map incredibly well. It just did not allow Thieves to find any success anywhere in the middle of the map. And you have to imagine that they've gone back, re-looked at that, and reestablished what they could do. But when you take a look at how things have gone and when Optic get going, boy, do they ever. 19-12 in map number 1s, where they barely win out if they do, but map 4 is often where they come and close out series. They don't often see a lot of map 5s, and the 17-5 record of map 4 has been a major reason of why.
Yeah, because when you go through a first couple of maps, it's all about the warm-ups. Obviously, at map 1, you're getting a feel out, but when you get to the map 4, you're already locked into the series, so guns are already firing on all cylinders, and this is where Optic usually find themselves in the advantage. I love myself some Vista because of how fast this map can play out, but we saw it in that last series. It's simply all about this rotation. From P1 to P2, from P3 to P4, you just want to have backside burger over towards Fountain side, because that is where you're going to be able to dominate and control majority the map for some great time.
Indeed the case, and here's a look at more of the breakdown statistics. Again, talking about Optic's one time playing it, they were really fluid in terms of how they rotated around the map. Well, that had not been necessarily a success point for Thieves in their most recent matchup, which is why their rotation percentages really hit a lot. But when they do get there, their hold percentages have been great. So it feels like a pretty even square up based on the small sample size that we have. So let's have some fun, friends. Lock on in as Texas will start us off with the first 3 kills.
Oh, that is a perfect break off for Optic. You find every single kill in the feed, and now you know that you are securing those spawns just in case it gets a little bit scary. Kenny is looking at that angle to make sure no one is going to come behind enemy lines. But that is just the perfect start if you are Optic Texas, continuing to have those guns firing on all cylinders into this P1.
Yep, absolutely the case. Good trade backs, though, for Thieves. Neutralize the last 20 and allows a chance for them to even earn a little bit of time of their own. Pred, whoa, we think he's feeling the hot hand. He is all over it right now. Jump up over towards the backside bridge. Denied by Joe Deceive, so it has to come down to the ARs trying to clear things out, and that's more than fine for Kenny and Dashi as they'll go 3 for 2. Last one standing is Ghosty, and whoa, makes good on that. 3 kills for him. Nearly gets the full team wipe, but Pred will keep one last little bit of contest and keep the Thieves interested on P1 while the rest of the green wall rotates over towards 2.
Yeah, they're already going to be over towards the next HP. But you at least have a couple players from LAT taking a lot of ground. Joe Deceives works his way up through top burger, able to eliminate that first player, find a second as well. But the spawns have not yet flipped. LA is successful on the break, but you're more focused on finding these kills and chaining it to that rotation as well.
Trem eyes on a number of different places he could be contested from. Not a lot of support here yet for Thieves. Good bounce up, though. Finds himself a 1-for-1. Preddo on 3 in a row. And Nasty trying to play oversight on the backside of the hill will be also denied. So 4 kills, a full team wipe, all of it going the Aussies' way. 7-4 start, and Optic looking good for the scrap time.
And I love how LAT on your minimap, but just everyone cutting their losses. Everyone hitting that rotation over towards the next, but you have to make it count. The initial gunfights have to go in your favor, and Optic Texas already have a read on it, that they are applying pressure through the back end. Dashy's able to find a double. Kenny finds the farthest player pushed up in Cramp. And this is going to be a rotation won by Optic. You just have to eliminate these final 2 players.
And again, it just feels like the same things that we saw in map number 1 for LA. First on rotation, not able to find the opening gunfights. Is also reminiscent of when they played Seattle. A lot of the same things were occurring. So now you have to hold this thing essentially from the front if you're LA. First couple of kills are decent. Trophy system also keeps this setup relatively safe, but they don't expect Predator. Just walks up, finds kill number 6 for the Crews. Not able to take the 7th, but again, Optic with the proximal spawns get here so damn quick.
Yeah, but that spawn right there out of Pred, he's not going to know that the pressure's coming in through the back. He only is able to find 1 kill, but once he drops the Cramp, now someone is going to put themselves in a position to contest him, and it's none other than Shotzi, who's sitting at 5 in a row trying to get the 6, but Joe Deceives is able to take care of him. But you will take this if you are LA. You are at least able to flip those spawns, so you can potentially stop that bleeding over towards the next HP.
But you still have to hold on to these spawns.
Yeah.
Joe Deceives will spawn up. Pred, Shotzi getting to work through the old time. A little bit of a deeper spawn for Ghosty, but he can reforce, and then there's the block. Crimp will spawn all the way out. Kenny hitting the route around the back. Joe Deceives completely caught unawares, and now it's on Ghosty. He just has to stay alive, and he's not able to find any sanctuary anywhere around the hill. Optic will flip the spawns and take the hard point simultaneously.
Oh man, it's just a slow start right here for a couple players on the side of LAT. Nasty, who's been having a phenomenal stage so far, sitting at 2 and 12. You need your ARs to be shooting, especially on those long distance gunfights, but he is just falling short every single time. Kenny with the double, now finds himself on 4 in a row. You know exactly where LAT are trying to execute a break from, and that's all through the front.
And it just feels like, again, we've seen this when they were playing up against Seattle. The ARs just keep getting caught in these very close and quartered battles with SMGs. And you look at the stat lines, it's 16 and 8 from Pred. He is all over the place. Kenny also dealing damage at 12 and 6. And Shotzi just getting to work, roaming around the map, doing Shotzi things. A little bit of scrap time earned for Thieves, and they get the read on the deep player in Shotzi. But Kenny's on the hunt, finds Nasty by the gondola, and that will be a chance maybe for Optic to flip the spawns around again.
Yeah, and they will take that because they're also maintaining a lot of mid-map control around that P1 area. So all of LA trying to break through that bar side. Shotzi already being a nuisance up in your face, is only able to take down 1, but gives the info to his teammates that that's where they're spawning. Just have to read the pressure consistently, just stay down on the hill and soak this time.
3 for 1 though. Thieves cooking up a little bit, but Shotzi off the off spawn comes through unpredicted and reduces it just down to Joe Deceives. Semtex toss, but Shotzi slides away. Pistol out, help from Pred. Oh man, it's just like you called from earlier, Jay. You don't deal with all 4 of them. Optic are going to come back with the fury, and boy have they ever. 140 to 62, scrap time looking good, and Thieves also getting tested at mid-map, trying to rotate back into P1.
Yeah, and this gets scary because LAT do not have the preferred spawns, and this can lead to a perfect chain out of Optic Texas. They can find a couple kills around the map. It's been a full 60 hold here at the Bridge Hill, but now just in case it gets a little bit scary, you have 2 cruise missiles in the back pocket, but screw the cruises because the guns are still firing. So on a different level right now, everyone is less than 10 deaths. These guys are playing perfect hardpoint right now.
Absolutely the case, double for
Oh
Pred.
my God!
Not gonna be able to finish off the final shot to Joe Deceives, but without the heroic and maybe the Reddit clip, it's still a great moment here from Optic Texas, growing it to well above 100-point cushion. Thieves having to find a way to break on in. Shotzi there waiting for him. He gets 2 of the 3. It just feels like there's just not enough convincing trades for Thieves in the moments that they matter the most.
Yeah, they're just playing catch-up a majority of this game, and every single time they need a 2-piece to go in their favor, it's Optic Texas flying right into their face, getting it done with either the Rival 9 or the MCW, but they're currently into these P1. Ghosty finds a double. Hopefully that's a spark to trying to turn this game around, but Optic Texas still with 2 cruise missiles in their back pocket. Another rotation, 1 out of them. Oh, you might not want to play them on this map. They are just everywhere.
No, it definitely feels that way. I mean, I think it's one of those things that, again, it's just the Thieves are being left without anything to work with. Long rotations where Shotzi's getting reads. I mean, what do you do against this? What do you do against this? Kremp gives us an offer. 2 kills for him, but Optic gonna get past the 200-point threshold. The ARs are also there waiting for the follow pit from the Thieves. And even though there was a heroic comeback effort for Thieves when they played this map initially versus Vegas, this one looks well too out of reach.
Yeah, this one's definitely out of reach because just in case it gets a little bit scary for Optic Texas, you can call in the cruise missile to execute a break or even a better hold. But just the way that they are shooting now, that's another 4 dead in the feed. LAC just got to slow down, but you got to get a team push because you are getting picked apart one by one, just simply not giving yourself an opportunity back into this game. Optic going to need 20 points to call serious.
It's just everything is being watched by Optic, and again, more often than not, save maybe this moment right here, it's still in 2 for 2, 3 for 1 form. So Optic never fully get flipped. Moment of pressure here for Thieves. So Fred will say, I can't bring this into the next map, so I may as well use it now. Kremp will fall to it. Optic still struggling to get back into the hard point, but all the pickup on the routes have been dealt with, plus the follow-up on the players stuck in for cover. And Optic are just a couple of points away from putting Thieves in the 100-point club. What a statement here on map number 4. Optic clean, calm, and collected on a map they really have not shown us too much of in these major 3 qualifiers.
You could just tell in practice that map has been treating them really, really well if you're coming out playing like that. Your SMG's taking a lot of ground, being nuisances when they need to, just being super annoying around the map. LAT just could not find any ground to stand on as soon as they spawned into that one. Right off the rip, you go 4 dead. And then everything after that has all a chain effect. But I'm pretty sure that's actually going to be our second 100-point club on the year. LAT were the team that got it done the first time, but now, unfortunately for them, they're on the backside of that as Optic Texas now put themselves at 6-1 in the stage. I don't know if that's going to put them up a seed. No, that's going to guarantee them that 3rd seed. But the play maps that you haven't played in quite some time, at least in the first 2, you come out on the Vista that you only played once throughout this stage, and you look absolutely stunning from start to finish. LAT just didn't have a response. Optic Texas, the better squad today.
Bro, production's out of left field with this music, by the way. I mean, what? Someone call an adult because production needs one badly. That is too much. It's too much. But for Thieves, this whole matchup was too much. Oh, goodness. That is going to be memed forever. I don't know who gets credit for that. I don't know if you want credit for that. But well done, production, well done. 250-86, the call. And with that, like you mentioned, in a battle for the 3rd seed, Texas will take it. So we know who our top 3 will look like overall. And after what was a very tight series, again, I got to give credit to the Thieves for putting up a hell of a fight on the sub-base hardpoint, even though, again, trends were going against them. Same thing can be told with the heroic effort on the evasion control, but not